Come on in here, people. Good morning to you. It's another edition of Conversations with Cornelius. I am your host, Cornelius, and I pray that your Tuesday will be terrific. Everybody who's coming in, put in the chat, terrific Tuesday. Let me change my camera. That's an extra wide. I don't want my camera that wide. Yeah, let me scoot that back. Yeah, it's a terrific Tuesday, and we're going to have a day. Oh, terrificisms. Can we say that? Terrificisms. Let me do some things here on my end and making sure that you can hear me quite well. If you can hear me, say, I can hear you, Pastor, or good morning, whatever you call me, Arne, cousin, whatever. Good morning to you on this terrific Tuesday. Man, I just worked out a little bit. I'm doing these heels, running these heels, getting ready for the marathon. Hey y'all, I cannot wait till I give me a PR, my personal record, personal best, all that good stuff. But I'm glad you have joined me. Everybody put in the chat, good morning. Everybody put in the chat, terrific Tuesday. Remember, we have to do our activity and exercise today, and we're going to do that. So, without further ado, on this terrific Tuesday, let's have us a marvelous show. I will be right back. Welcome to Conversations with Cornelius. I am your host, Cornelius. Today, you will be engaged, entertained, and educated. Stay tuned. You are about to be CC'd. It is Conversations with Cornelius. Good morning to you, ma'am and sir. Why is that doing that? I don't know. I didn't ask it to do that, but these things do their own. So on yesterday, we had raised the question, how can or how does my knowledge of God significantly impact or affect my witness? Well, it does in several ways. We talked about one of those ways. Today, we want to talk about exactly how that has happened, or you have captured you behave in a certain way because you just didn't know. You didn't know who you were. You really didn't know how to communicate to you what you really wanted. You've kind of taken cues from other people in life, which is fine to some degree, until you come into your own and realize maybe the life that I have lived or the life that I'm living is literally somebody else's life. And listen, that's a real place to be in. That I woke up every day pleasing people, the people that have taken care of me and done their all to secure the lifestyle and the livelihood that I enjoyed. But now I have to find and discover my own purpose. And how did I and how should I, or how should you, if you're a believer, how should you discover your purpose and find your purpose? Of course, that's getting closer to God. So how do we get closer to God? We practice his presence. We practice his presence. Good morning, Sterling. Let me see. This man right here, he's found his purpose. Sterling found his purpose. Man, call me again. I forgot to lock your number in because I want to get you on the show. Not this way. I want to get you on the show when you're in that kitchen doing your thing, helping people eat good, feel good, and discover their purpose. So text me your number again, Sterling. Please, sir. All right, with that being said, when I didn't understand, when I did not understand how important it was for me to cultivate my relationship with God, I used how I felt as my catalyst to help me negotiate life. Sterling, I use what I felt. I'm not saying that was the best thing, and it wasn't, but it was what it was. So I was negotiating life through my feelings. And I've learned this about my feelings. If I haven't learned anything else about mine or anybody else's, My feelings are not always the best place for me to begin to negotiation. Nah. Especially when I feel like crap. Especially when I feel like giving up. Especially when I feel like throwing in the towel. I can't always begin to negotiate my next in life in my feelings. At some point, I'm going to have to come out of my feelings. Because I've learned this, my feelings are just my feelings, but my feelings are a place where I meet God. So I'm meeting God in my feelings. Moses met God in his because of the way he felt. Jeremiah said it's like fire should have been my bones. So I don't ever never need to negate how I feel and ignore my feelings, because my feelings is my place of reality and it's where I meet God. Yes. But with that being said, when I didn't understand, number one, I began to negotiate life and my feelings. And guess what? Sometimes that negotiation was not a positive one, especially if I haven't never learned the art of negotiating. Because I'm going to do things or make decisions based upon how others feel about the decision that I made, which possibly was a good decision for them and not the best for me. So this Terrific Tuesday, my profile, when I understood, and then when I didn't understand. So I'm working on my don'ts today. I don't ever, everybody shout, don't. We'll go Bryson Tiller for a minute, don't. I don't ever need to continue to negotiate my feelings, um, or negotiate life, and through or through feelings that do not lead me to the presence and person of God. Yeah, I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it. I promise you. Let me pull this up. Everybody say don't. Good morning again, everyone. Good morning. That's why I always tell you to where's my boy at? Practice his presence. Everybody shout practice. I'm not asking you to go to church and be in church and contained in church. That's not what I'm asking initially. Once you practice his presence, going to church is not even optional. You are intentional when you get there. So number one, what do? I affirm his nearness in my heart. I have to. I have to do that. The more I affirm his nearness in my heart, the closer I want to be to him and his people. I want to be close. That's what Fred Hammond said. I want to be close to you is my desire. So that's what I have to do when I'm practicing the presence of God. So number one, everybody say affirm his nearness in my heart. Number two, I visualize God in my mind. I have a vision of God in my mind. And today you need to operate from the vision that you have of God in your mind. Not of you, have a vision of God, and let God's vision, the vision of God that you have, develop your vision. Number three, then I access him through prayer. Then sometimes I have to do that. Visualize him, affirm his nearness in my heart, then I can pray. Then fourthly, I can reflect his presence in my demeanor. You can't hear me? Joanna, you can't hear me for real? Joanna, you can't hear me? Whoa, 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 whoa. Audio. Check. Well, redo your phone, Joanna, please, because I it says I can it says I'm being heard. But anyway, do those four things every day, and getting to church will not be awkward nor uncomfortable. Now, when I didn't understand, and when I don't understand the purpose and plans that God has for my life, remember, I negotiate life from a place of my feelings, and my feelings in those moments don't always lead me to God or make me lean on God? And thirdly, does it make me learn from God? Doesn't always lead me to God. Learn from God and lean on God. Put your 3 L's. Lead, learn, lean. That's me. That's me. And if you come follow me, the next 2 Sundays, I'm preaching from the book of Jonah, if God be so kind, where Jonah ran from God because he didn't want to be led, he didn't want to learn, and he wasn't leaning. Jonah chapter 4, he gets mad at God. And there are times in our life when we don't understand in our profile, and I'm negotiating from a place of feelings, and those feelings that I'm negotiating from haven't learned God, haven't leaned on God, hadn't been led by God. You say, God lead me, God lead me, God lead me. And God will lead you. God is a leader. God will let you lean on him. But when you're in a place where you don't understand, you will not lean, you will not learn, you will not be led. And eventually it's going to be hard to listen. Good morning, Perry. Good morning. So, a lack of God's sovereignty can significantly impact my ability to witness him. Number one, increased anxiety and fear. Went through that yesterday. Number two, and I'm going to land my plane after this. Joanna, can you hear me now? Please tell me you can hear me. I'm going to land my plane on this one. Number two, when I am not leaning, when I'm in my emotions and in a bad place, I'm not leaning, I'm not learning, I'm not being led, I'm not listening to God because I don't feel like it. Here it is. Number two, when you have a low and limited view of God, you're weak. Your faith is weak during trials. Your faith is weak during your trials. During your trial and your tribulation, your faith gets weak. Yes, it does. During your trial and tribulation, your faith gets weak. And here's the thing, because I'm not learning, because I'm not leaning, because I'm not being led, because I'm not listening, Perian. Those 4 L's. When God gives me the sign that I'm asking for, it's unrecognizable. I don't recognize the signs God sends or the circumstances or situation God sends so I can be led, so I can listen, so I can lean and learn. Because my faith is weakened during those trials. And it brings me to this place. Whew. I begin to question God rather than ask questions. Yes. I began to question. Now, you might be better than me, and if you have a better resolve, please share. But when I am negotiating the will of God for my life and from an emotional place, and it's not a good, healthy emotional place, I'm not leaning on God, I'm not listening to God, I'm not being led by God, I'm not learning about God. And my view of God becomes low and limited. And then when the trials of life come, I begin to question God rather than ask God questions. Well, listen, I need y'all to follow us. Let's do this tomorrow. So ABC Brainstorm, Perry, and you can tell them we do this all the time. I know I stopped at C, but when we go to the letter L, when we go to the letter L on the don't side, I didn't lean, I didn't listen, I didn't listen. I wasn't led, and I'm not trying to learn. Because I'm weak. My faith is weak. I've been weakened by this trial and tribulation, and my view of God is so low that I'm questioning him rather than asking questions. Yeah. So I hope this is helping you, ma'am and sir, boys and girls. Share it with your relatives, your nieces, your nephews, your cousins, and ask them, are you questioning God in this season of your life? Or are you asking questions? And if you're asking questions, you have to be inquisitive enough to lean, to listen, to learn, and to be led. Yes, got to do those things. Got to do those things. You have to do those things. So I'm asking God questions. And remember, I'm not asking God why question. I am not. What can I do, God, to make this situation, this storm, my stepping stone? How do I grow from this? Because I realize if I'm working from an emotional place, David, and there's a lot of anxiety and fear, it's going to produce more doubt. And then when the storm and the test and the trial come, I'm going to be more discouraged. And I'm going to start questioning God rather than asking God questions. So, see you here tomorrow. Same place, same time, 8 o'clock. Oh, no. Tomorrow I'm with God Almighty, Victoria. I'm tomorrow with her. But I really want to talk about this a little bit tomorrow with her if y'all allow me to do that. So everybody leave. Everybody put the 4 L's. Put the 4 L's. Put the 4 L's in the chat. And ask yourself, how am I listening to God? By reading his word, by praying, by practicing his presence. How am I leaning on God? How am I learning of God? And then how am I being led by God when I'm in a bad emotional place? And those are real places to be in. So when I don't understand, everybody say don't. I need to lead, learn, be led, listen, and lean. And then the songwriter said, let me lean on you. Amen. My body gets tired. Soul needs resting. Let me lean on you. Hey, tomorrow, Wednesday, the Victory with Victoria, we'll talk about that. She should have her book together and be teaching us from that book. Thursday, of course, you will have the show today. Preferably today, my guest will show up. Hopefully he's watching this, so he and I will meet and we can be at the radio station to record the show. And then Friday, of course, hopefully the individuals who couldn't make it this Friday can make it next Friday. And if they can't, who couldn't make it last Friday can make it this Friday. And if they can't, we still gonna have a show. All right, y'all. My time is up, Perian. I was trying to keep this under 10 minutes, but I'm almost at 20. But I think we're getting something as we develop our profile, our leadership profile, and learning that a limited and low view of God puts us already in a bad place emotionally. And when it's time to come out of that place, it's going to require us to listen, learn, lean, and lead. All right, y'all, have a great day. It's a terrific Tuesday. Peace and blessings.